So, what if the biggest secret to a better life wasn't about fixing your past or trying to wrestle your future into submission? What if it was all about understanding the incredible power packed into this very instant? What if you could start completely fresh, right here, right now? Let's dive into this idea together. Just think about it for a second. Seriously, do you ever feel like you're just dragging yesterday's regrets around with you? Like they're these heavy chains you can't shake off? Or maybe you're the opposite. You're living in this constant state of anxiety about tomorrow, playing out all these worst-case scenarios that probably won't even happen. It's such a common feeling, this sense of being completely stuck in time. The source material just nails it with this quote. It says, "We live weighted by the invisible chains of a finished past and a fearful future. We walk around thinking we are our mistakes, that we're just the sum total of all our past griefs. It's like we're treating our lives like a movie that's already over, where the ending is already written based on the first few scenes."
Okay, so that brings us to our first big idea here, which is what we're calling the trap of time. We're going to look at how our normal way of seeing time, as a straight line from past to present to future, is actually the very thing that's keeping us locked in that prison. I love this metaphor of our mental furniture. Just picture it. You walk into this brand new, beautiful, empty room. It's full of possibilities. But instead of enjoying that clean slate, you insist on dragging in all your old, broken, dusty furniture from your last place. That's exactly what we do in our minds, right? We haul old arguments into new relationships. We look at a gorgeous sunset, but we're filtering it through the lens of some old sadness. We treat the present moment like it's just an inevitable result of the past, instead of what it really is, a moment of pure, fresh creation. So, if that's the trap, then how in the world do we get out? Well, that's what Section 2 is all about. We're going to explore a really radical new way of looking at things, one that completely flips our understanding of the present moment right on its head. Okay, take a look at this. On the left, you've got the common view. Past leads to present leads to future. Simple. We're just one little link in a long chain, kind of getting pulled along for the ride. But now, look at the right. This radical view says, no, the present isn't the result of anything. The present is the source. It's the only thing that's actually real. The past, that's just a memory that you are having right now. The future, that's just a possibility you are imagining right now. You're not a link in the chain, you are the needle, and you're the one stitching the fabric in this very instant. And this brings us to a whole new definition of the now. See, it's not just some tiny little sliver of time sandwiched between what just happened and what's about to happen. No, it is the only place where life is actually occurring. Think of it like a forever blank canvas. It doesn't matter what was painted on it a second ago. Right now, in this instant, it's fresh, it's clean, and it's totally ready for something brand new. All right, I know this can all start to sound a little, out there and abstract. So in this next section, let's go looking for some proof. Where can we actually see this principle of constant renewal happening right in front of our faces every single day? You don't have to look any further than your own breath. Really feel it. The in-breath is this full acceptance of life, of energy. Then there's that little pause, just full of potential. The out-breath is a complete release, a total letting go. And at the bottom, there's this quiet, sacred emptiness. And then, without you having to do anything at all, a brand new breath just begins. Your body already knows this wisdom. It doesn't try to hoard old, stale air. It lets go completely to make room for the new. With every single breath you take, you are literally beginning again. And it's not just us. Nature is basically screaming this lesson at us all the time. A tree doesn't sit around mourning its lost leaves all winter. It trusts but a new spring is coming. You can't step in the same river twice, right? It's in a state of constant beginning. Even something that looks like an end, like a decaying log or an exploding star, is really just the raw material for new creation. There's no resentment in nature. There's only transformation. Okay, so if our own bodies and the entire natural world are constantly starting over, why is it so unbelievably hard for us? Why do we get so stuck? That question brings us to our next section, the storytelling mind. So here's the battle that's playing out inside of us all the time. Our mind is kind of like a historian. Its job is to record everything and weave it all into a neat, coherent story called me. It takes our experiences and solidifies them into a fixed identity. But we also have this other thing called awareness, and awareness is more like the sky. It doesn't grab onto the clouds, the thoughts, the feelings. It just provides this huge open space for them to drift on by. The trap we fall into is believing that we are the clouds instead of remembering that we're the sky. And letting go of that story of those clouds, well, it can feel really dangerous. This quote explains why perfectly. Our ego, our sense of me, is literally built on that carefully curated history. So stepping into the unknown present where that old story has no power, it can feel like a tiny death. But here's the secret. What's dying is only the prison of the past. And that makes way for the freedom of what's actually happening right now.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we get better at stepping out of the story and into the now? Let's get super practical in our final section, the practice of returning.
This completely reframes what meditation is all about. The real practice isn't about achieving some perfectly blank mind. It's the simple, sacred act of just returning. It goes like this. You focus your attention on your breath, and then your mind wanders. Of course it does. That's what minds do. The magic happens when you simply notice that you've been carried away, and then you gently, without any judgment, guide your attention back. Getting distracted isn't a failure. That moment you notice and return, that is the win. That is the entire practice of beginning again.
And, this whole practice goes way beyond just sitting on a cushion. You can think of these as portals to the present moment. Forgiveness is a portal. It's a conscious decision to cut the chain of a past story. Mindful walking is a portal, just feeling each footstep on new ground. Even something as simple as giving your full attention to one thing. When you eat, you just eat. When you listen, you just listen. That's it. That's you returning to the fresh start of now. So really, we have to change our whole metaphor here. The dawn, that beautiful symbol of a new beginning, it isn't something that just happens once every 24 hours.
It's the fundamental condition of reality itself, and it's happening right now, and now, and now again. The light is always breaking. The world isn't getting older, it's being born in this very moment.
And this, right here, is the ultimate empowerment. It's the realization that you are not the victim of some story that's already finished. The past has released you. The future isn't your problem yet. This moment is a clean slate, a blank page, an open door. And the entire universe is asking, now, what shall we begin?